Hi, my name is Mohammed Mosfir. I'm the head of maths here at WSO, and in today's presentation I want to give you an overview of the IBDP mathematics course at Key Stage 5. So to begin with, I'd like to introduce you to the mathematics team. The person I'd like to point out to you on this slide here is Ms. Mira Murthy, who is going to be leading Key Stage 5, in particular the IBDP program throughout the year. So she'll be overlooking dates, assessments, curriculum, etc. Things concerned with the maths course at IBDP. On this slide here is the rest of the team. Please feel free at any point to pause the video and go back and take a closer look at your child's teacher for the year. So, regards to the equipment that we require all students to bring to every lesson, needless to say they need to have a writing pen, so either a black or a blue pen, and a pencil, and a ruler also is essential. We do recommend and encourage students to have a geometry set for them to be able to use during geometry lessons, and we also highly encourage students to bring a purple or red pen that enables them to mark their work and make corrections and identify any areas of feedback that they can provide when they do assessments or smaller assessments, homework, etc. The other essential piece of equipment on this slide is the calculator. It's absolutely imperative that all students on the IB program have a graphical display calculator. So the one we recommend is the Casio FX CG50 on the slide, as you can see. Some students may have a different graphic calculator, that's fine. They can use those, but if you don't have one yet, we highly recommend purchasing this particular one. And it is essential because there are questions that cannot be accessed unless they have a GDC available to them. Excuse me. So next is the schemes of learning. So you'll receive copies of these, and students should have copies of these on their teams. So schemes of learning for all of the Year 12 and Year 13 courses that we offer. And the main thing here to point out is we do aim to cover all of the course content with ample time for students to be able to revise in the school and during lessons. However, if you'd like to have a look at what topics are coming up and what topics have already been covered, the scheme of learning helps to be able to do that. Next, talking about the assessments. So all students who join the school who start Year 12 IBDP program will sit a baseline at the beginning, and then we use that information to know which gaps, or if there are any gaps of knowledge. And we have students coming to us from different courses, so we'd like to know which areas we need to focus on and which areas students find particularly maybe challenging. It also gives us an idea of students' suitability for courses, because the HL and the SL course that we offer from the IB program, there are varying degrees of difficulty, and sometimes we recommend students to do a particular course if they've demonstrated maybe not a complete understanding in their baseline assessments. Throughout the year, students will also sit CFU assessments regularly, so these are check for understanding assessments. These are based on topics that students are learning, and there will be slightly shorter assessments. Students will be notified with 3 weeks notice minimum, and resources and revision materials will be posted all on Teams and set as an assignment. At the end of every term, students will sit a slightly bigger exam where they will be covering all the topics that they've learned up until that point in time. That's for term 1 and term 2. And in term 3, at the end of the year, Year 12 students will sit a mock examination where we'll assess all the knowledge and content that they've learned throughout the whole of Year 12. And Year 13 IBDP students will sit their formal external examinations at the end of the Year 13 course as well. So moving on to home learning tasks, we will set home learning every week. We recommend students to do their own independent learning beyond the home learning tasks that we set. So each task that we set will be roughly 45 to 60 minutes in length. However, we're not saying that this is sufficient for students to sufficient time for students to spend on maths. They will need to spend more time on consolidating their learning and independent revision, research and study. However, we will be setting them these pieces of homework on a weekly basis that they must complete and bring to school and show us that they've completed them. Homework tasks will be set on Microsoft Teams as an assignment, so students can keep track of them as well. They may be printed or they may be online, but they will be set every week. In terms of textbooks that we recommend, We have digital versions of these textbooks, but if you'd like to purchase the textbooks, these are the ones on the screen at the moment. If you are purchasing textbooks, I would recommend just to ensure you reach out to the class teacher or Mrs. Murthy or myself to confirm that you're selecting the right book for the program that your child is studying. We also have some useful websites that we'd recommend. The primary one we'd recommend is Cognity, which is a website that we use across the school and particularly in maths also. It contains all the content and all the topics that students need to learn throughout the IB course, and it also has sections where questions and assessments are built into it so students can verify their knowledge and understanding. So that's the website we recommend, but there are also a list of other websites that we'd recommend for students to use for revision purposes, revision material, and to consolidate their learning and their knowledge and understanding. These websites will have been shared with the students. They'll be familiar with these websites. If they're not already familiar with them, the teacher will share them on Microsoft Teams, so they should have access to these already. If you have any questions further leading on from this presentation, please feel free to reach out to myself or Ms. Murthy. We're more than happy to answer your questions, and I hope you found the presentation useful and helpful. Thank you very much.